Hey guys, what's up? My name is Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite neutral palettes in my collection. I know a lot of people, when they think neutral, they're thinking just like brown and brown tones, which is what I also think, but I also like to incorporate like some orange tones in that. And I also, for me personally, feel like green tones are more of on the neutral side for me. When I'm thinking color, I'm thinking like blue, neon pink, purple, those kinds of shades. So my variety of neutral might be a little bit different than everyone else's, but there are just some brown toned palettes included in here, so don't worry, they will be in here. And yeah, if you're new here, hey, hi, welcome. Be sure to subscribe before you leave, and don't forget to hit the bell just so that you're notified of my future uploads. And of course, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this one. I also have a new candle burning in the background from the Jackie Aina like little Christmas set that she did. That one is called To Live in Pine, I believe. Smells really yummy. Reminds me of like the holiday season and Christmas trees and pine. So super nice. It came in a set of 4 and I'm really pumped about it. But I just wanted to share it because I don't know, in case you wanted to know. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into my favorite neutral palettes that are in my collection. Some of these are discontinued and I will preface that when we get to those. But we'll just start with what is on top. And the first one is going to be the Colourpop Sandstone palette, which I do think is discontinued now. They had it on major sale not that long ago, and I've had this for like a year and only recently tried it late last year, and I love this. I was so impressed with this formula. It's kind of made me realize that maybe some of my other Colourpop palettes, the formula is going bad on them because they're just not as, you know, pigmented. They don't blend as easily anymore. The shimmers aren't as velvety. So yeah, but this one, you might be able to find it on Mercari or something, but this palette is truly gorgeous and I am obsessed with it. Such a good one. The next palette is a little bit newer to me as well. It's a Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes. Super pretty. I was able to snag this half off earlier last year. And yeah, look at all those gorgeous nudes. This also has some pink and gold tones in it as well. I think that if you're someone who loves a really neutral eye, a more subtle shimmer, this is going to be a palette that's more for you. I don't find that the shimmers in this have like a huge, they don't pack a huge punch. But like, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It really just depends on like what your preference is. I just think this one is a really pretty everyday palette because you're getting a lot of those neutral shades. And I know a lot of people for work like to typically wear something more laid back. I'm not always that way. Like this is something I probably would wear to work, except for I would do black mascara. Steph and I did a live today and that's why I did the white mascara. I just thought it'd be fun. But like, I don't mind wearing colorful makeup to work. Like that's still wearable to me. But if you're someone who really likes neutrals for work, this is a really pretty option and I really enjoy it. The next palette is a discontinued palette, but I have seen it available on Mercari. It is the KKW Beauty Camo palette. This one is so stunning. It's easily become my favorite green palette in my collection. I actually decluttered another green palette because now when I'm reaching for greens, I'm reaching for this one or another one that I will be showcasing later. But this has a lot of really gorgeous tones and this brown is actually really nice and cool. And then you also can get a more like taupey look out of it. The reflection in these is this palette is so gorgeous, and if you're willing to spend a little more on Mercari, then I highly recommend it. It's a really great palette, and yeah, it is just so stunning. Like, I find myself wanting to reach for this so often. It's such a good one. The formula is so good. I'm just ready for, like, KKW to come back. Like, what's taking so long? It's driving me nuts. The next palette is a neutral palette, but it is on the cool toned side. It is the Stone Cold Fox from Colorpop. This one's a little bit newer, and I've used this, honestly, like, it doesn't really look like it, but I have used this quite a bit. Like, you can see some of the shades are more used than the others. I do think that, you know, this is a super large palette, and it's something that I'm really, like, not gravitating toward, is in the terms of, like, I don't really reach for larger palettes anymore. But I think that if you're like a cool tone junkie, or you don't really have any cool tones in your collection, this could be the only one that you really need. I do enjoy that it has the cool tone pinks, cool tone browns, taupes. It has a lot of different options, that is for sure. And the formula is really consistent with what Colourpop typically puts out. You have nice blendable mattes. You have nice reflective shimmers. This is a really, really good one if you're in the market for a lot of cool tones. I mean, what is that one? The taupe one they put out. I know a lot of people really like that, but I snagged this because that one wasn't available. But this is a really good staple for cool tone makeup, in my opinion. The next one is going to be from Huda Beauty. It's the chocolate brown. This one really caught my eye when she launched this line of the Obsessions. As you can see here, we have some like purplier tones, but they're like a deep purple. Then we have some like orangier, bricky red tones. And like this to me is like, you know, this is neutral to me. Maybe not to everyone, but this is neutral to me. Huda's formula is really just reliable, dependent. The shimmers are great, the mattes are great. And if you're wanting to dabble in the brand, the 9 pans are a really great way to do that. So yeah, I highly recommend that one. It's a great staple in my collection. The next one is from Huda as well. It is the Topaz Obsessions. I love this one, and I didn't even, I'm so terrible, I didn't even use this last year. This is one of my favorite palettes to use during the fall time, so I'm gonna actually probably put this up on my desk to use because I love this palette so much. It's just such a good 9 pan, and this shade over here is so gorgeous, and it pairs with all of the shades really well. I do find that this shade and this shade are a little bit too similar for my liking. I think something different should have happened there. I don't know. But the shimmers in here are gorgeous, and every look that I've created with this, I've really loved. So even though it's on the orangier tone side, I still consider this a neutral palette, and I love it. Next up, we have my Natasha Denona Mini Gold. I got this, and I got this on my wish list swap with Taylor, and I've really grown to love this little palette. It's one of the other ones that if I'm wanting to go green or do something green, I am reaching for this. Really cute, really concise. You can get a couple different looks out of it. I really enjoy it. This shimmer here is so stunning and like multi-dimensional. It's gorgeous. This is the only shade that I'm like about, just because it's one of her cream to powder formulas, I think, and I'm not the biggest fan of that formula. But yeah, this is a really, really great one if you're just looking for something small, concise, and neutrally green. I would recommend this one. Up next, we have this palette looks so dirty also, so don't judge. The Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. I really like this, and I feel like a lot of people, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And let me just preface this by saying, you know, I did do a whole review on this palette. I'll link it above if you guys want to check it out. But it is expensive for what it is. Yes, we know that. That's what high-end makeup is. It's expensive for what it is. In terms of quality, though, it is good quality. I really do enjoy the formulation. The mattes blend out really well. The shimmer toppers are absolutely gorgeous. When I create a look with this, I love it. It's like your basic neutral palette with a little bit of sparkle if you're wanting to do something wild. It even has these creams down here, which I think is like innovative and a lot of people really like. So yeah, if you're looking for a basic neutral palette and you understand that it's expensive for what it is, I don't think that you'll be disappointed. I don't think that it's like revolutionary in any way or gonna like change your life. But if you're comfortable with the price point, I think that the formula is good. And this is one that I find myself wanting to reach for often because you can just create these really beautiful chocolatey looks with it. But yeah, I just I really do like this one, and you know, I'm glad that I decided to pick it up. I was on the fence for the longest time. The amount of times that this palette went in and out of my cart in Sephora was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But I'm glad I got it. The next one, this is also high-end, is the Natasha Denona Biba palette. I was able to actually get this on Mercari for a discounted price. It came used, but I mean, that does not bother me. And I got it for a fraction of the price, so works out. And I hit a pan in this shade. Well, when I'm filming this, it was like a week or two ago. But this is the Biba palette, and I just think this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous color story because we have some warm tones, we have some cool tones. The shimmers in here are gorgeous. The mattes blend out super beautifully. This, in my opinion, color story wise, is one of the best that she has, just because to me, there is dimension, there is variety. You can get a lot of different looks out of this palette, where I feel like a lot of the mid-size ones, like everything looks the same kind of. So I really have been enjoying this one, and this is another one that, like, when I'm just wanting to do something simple or even glam, like, I like to reach for this one. It's so pretty, it's dependable, and yeah, I know this is a higher price point. I love it. Do I think that it's worth the price point? I will never tell you high-end makeup is worth it, because you can always find something, whether it be from an indie brand or a drugstore brand, that is really similar, especially when we start getting into indie brands. Like, a lot of the times the formulation is a lot better. So I will never say that this is worth the price point, because it's not. We all know it's overpriced. We all know that it's marked up ridiculously. But if you're cool with the price point, you want to try it, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I really love this one, and I am glad that I decided to pick it up. The next one is from Scott Barnes. This is the Snatural palette. This was before he repackaged. I believe the inside is gold now, but I actually like it better that it's white, honestly. I'm glad I got it this way. Obviously, you guys can see I've given this palette quite a bit of love. I really love this one. It has some really beautiful cool tone browns in there. The shades like Nightcap and stuff are just the most beautiful. Like, I don't even have I have my stuff getting ready to wash, so I'm like, I don't even have anything to put this in. But they're just so beautiful. Like, these shades are so unique to my collection. You have reds, you have brick tone, you have gold tone. This is just a really beautiful, well done neutral palette, in my opinion. And to be honest with you guys, I'm probably going to be rotating it into my collection, like into my usage a lot more this year. I know that this shade Woody here has a pretty nice dip in it. But yeah, I really just want to bask in this palette, get to know it a little bit better. But this is one that I would highly recommend. Again, it's on the pricier side. My girl Danielle over at Boise Beauty on IG does have a discount code with them, though, if you're wanting to save some coin. But yeah, I really just love this one. The formula is so good. The last palette we're going to talk about has also been discontinued, and I know you guys have seen this palette a lot, but I really just feel like I can't not mention it, just because, you know, it's discontinued. But it's gonna be my Touchy Beauty palette. I like don't even really have like words, you know. This is definitely one of my favorite neutrals palettes. I love it. You can get so many different looks out of this, especially like the variation is just wild, because you can have these like pink tones and these orange tones that mesh into your more neutral tones and create a more like soft, like wearable eye. Or you can really take advantage of these tones and do like a big beautiful pop of color. It's so stunning. You can do the most like laid back soft glam with this, and then you can do the most like in your face fucking glam with this. Like the glitters are so beautiful. And now that like Touchy Beauty is closed, like I almost don't want to use them, because I don't have another glitter that is like the same in my collection. But also, like, I need to use them because they will go bad. So, but yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite neutral palettes. I think some of these are available on Mercari as well. And I know, I mean, honestly, like, I would check on Instagram, because I know my friend over on IG. She just put on her stories that she was interested in the KKW Beauty Camo palette, and she asked if anyone would be willing to sell theirs, and she got one within like 30 minutes. So maybe even just putting that up in your stories, like, does anyone have this that would be willing to sell it? Like, that's something too, if you're like interested in really interested in, you know, a discontinued palette. But yeah, those are my favorite neutral eyeshadow palettes in my collection as of now. I do have quite a few palettes that are in my collection that I haven't yet used, so I'm not like bringing those into the equation or anything like that. But yeah, if I mentioned any of your faves, let me know, or just let me know what your favorite go-to neutral palettes are. I'm really curious to see if I have those, or something that I'll put on my wish list, you know. But yeah, I hope that you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.